Hello everyone, and once again welcome to my channel Engineering Made Simple. Now from the last few lectures we were studying about system equation reduction techniques. We covered its prerequisites. Now we are going to learn our first technique of system equation reduction, which is K-map simplification. So in this, now let's start with today's class. Now in last class we studied how to represent a given boolean expression or logic expression in SOP form in a K-map, and how to fill the K-map from a given truth table. Now we will move on to how to simplify a given boolean expression when we have to use this method for system equation reduction. So basically our main aim to study this particular technique was to learn how to simplify a boolean expression using K-map technique. So we will now slowly move on to the simplification process and the concepts related to simplification process. Now let us understand those concepts. Now as you can see, three diagrams are drawn over here. First diagram is of a two variable K-map, second diagram is of a three variable K-map, third diagram which is at the bottom which is of a four variable K-map. Now understand this thing. Now we want to understand how to simplify a given equation using K-map. Understand this one. So this part labeling and all everyone knows by this time. If anybody has any doubts related to labeling and the things, refer to the previous part of this lecture, particular lecture. So this is a two variable K-map, three variable K-map and four variable K-map, and this is how it is labeled. Now whenever we are talking about simplification, one K-map simplification, one important concept is of adjacent cells. So what do you mean by adjacent cells? So adjacent cells are the cells, the two cells or boxes, two cells or boxes are said to be adjacent to each other if they differ only in one input variable. Now understand this. This concept of adjacent cells is very important when we study K-map simplification, because if you understand adjacent cells, you will understand the next concept of grouping in a K-map, and this grouping, after this grouping process only we are able to simplify a given expression or minimize a given expression. So what is the adjacent cell? So two cells, let's take this one for example. First we will start with three variable K-map. So this is a K-map, right? Now we want to find which cells are adjacent to each other. So what does the definition state? That two cells are said to be adjacent to one another when and only when they differ in only one input variable. So what does this mean? So we have this particular cell number 0, that is A bar, B bar, C bar. Cell represented by A bar, B bar, C bar. Why A bar, B bar, C bar? Because input combinations are 0, 0, 0. And then the cell next to it is 0, 0, 1. That means A bar, B bar, C. This particular cell over here and this particular cell. We are talking about this particular cell. Now here A bar, B bar and C is there. So you can see from the previous cell was 0, 0, 0, and the next cell it is 0, 0, 1. So only one input variable changes over here. So that's why these two cells are said to be adjacent cells. Now one interesting thing also over here. So here we have input combination. Look at the input combination. So here we have 0, 0, 0, and here it is 0, 0, 1. So only one bit change is there. So I am simply putting a dot stating that these two are adjacent ones. Now let us compare another cells. Now we have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 0, 1, 0 is there. That is, I am talking about this cell again. So 0, 0, 0, So again the same cell I am talking about, this particular one 0 0 0, and then I am talking about the last cell over here. Which one? Which is 1 which is 0 1 0. So how will you read 0 1 0? 0 1 0. So these two cells are also adjacent to each other. Why? Because only one bit change is there. See, 0 0 0 is there. Here 0 remains as it is. This 0 also remains as it is when you move on to this particular cell. But only one bit changes. So that is the reason this is also adjacent one. So while grouping, we are supposed to group only the when we are talking about SOP form, we are supposed to group only ones which are present in the adjacent cell. The ones which are not adjacent cannot be, a group cannot be formed from them. So this concept of adjacent cells you should understand thoroughly. And once you understand adjacent cells, you will understand the grouping also. And once you understand what the rules of grouping and what is grouping, you have completely understood that what is the K-map method of simplification. Now let us see the third diagram over here. This depicts a 4 variable K-map. Now here I have input A, B and C, D. That is, I have 4 input variables. So first term will be C bar D bar because we are dealing with SOP expression because product term is present over here. If I write something like C bar plus D bar, then we are dealing with SOP expression. But I have written a product term. Product term, that's why it is SOP expression, otherwise it would have been a POS expression. But as I have written C bar D bar, the meaning of that statement is we are dealing with standard SOP form and we are entering min terms in the K-map. So when we are entering min terms, we have to group or encircle ones. So this grouping concept we will move ahead in further short while. But understand, this is a 4 variable K-map. So I labeled it as 0 1 2 3. Refer to the corresponding gray codes over here. This is a gray code sequence. This is a gray code sequence. So from that only you read 0 0 0 0. So that is, so this is your MSB bit in this case. This is your LSB. So 0 0 0 0. So that is CDAB. It would be function of, when you write function of CDAB, Boolean function of CDAB, then your CD is MSB. So here 0 0 and 0 0. So this is nothing but C bar D bar A bar B bar. So C bar D bar A bar B bar is nothing but 0 0 0 and the corresponding output to it. So this is how you read that K-map, and this is a 4 variable K-map. That's why we have 2 raised to 4, that is 16 cells in this, and that's why it is labeled from 0 to 15. You see. Now understand this particular law. This is all about reading only. Now see, here we have 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. This is our normal 3 variable K-map, first 2 rows. And now understand this particular law. This is after 4 5 6 7 I have written 12 13 14 15. How I will show you. Now here we have 1 1 0 0. Now what is decimal equivalent of 1 1 0 0? Tell me from this one. 12. So that's why 12 comes here. Otherwise you may think after 6 7 why I have written 12 13 14 15. So simply you don't need to memorize these numbers. You have to just read and write accordingly. So here 1 1 0 0 is there, so 12. Here 1 1 0 1 is there, that's why 13. Here all ones are present, that's why 15. Here 1 1 1 0 is there, that's why 14. And last row is simpler because 1 1 0 0 is 8. 1 0 0 1 is 9. 1 0 1 1 is 11. And 1 0 1 0 is nothing but 1 0, represented by 1 0. So this is how you represent a 4 variable K-map. Now understand adjacent cells from this one. So remember, here 0 0 0 0 is there, 0 0 0 1. So these two are adjacent. These two are adjacent. Or simply remember one thing, if you want to understand adjacency, check whether the cells which we are comparing differ in only one bit pattern, and that bit pattern is given over here. If only one bit change is there, then they are adjacent. No need to look for which side it lies. Just even if one bit change is there, you will consider it as adjacent. Now let's say I have some bit pattern over here. I have marked it using a 1. Now these 4 cells are also adjacent to each other, because if you compare the sequence of these 4 cells, they would differ by only one binary digit or gray code digit. So that's why you may say that they are present at the 4 corners, but they are adjacent to each other, because when you roll this K-map, I have a sheet of paper. So if there are 4 ones present at the corner, if I roll it, let's say, so this particular one will be adjacent to this particular one. That's why it is, we can say that it is adjacent. So I hope this adjacency part is clear. So the next important concept in K-map simplification process is we have to group the number of ones together. Why ones? Because we are dealing with system equation minimization, which is given in standard SOP form. That's the reason we are grouping one. So what are the ways in which we can group in K-map? So there are these are the 3 ways. That is, we can group adjacent ones. What do I mean by adjacent ones? If 2 ones are present in adjacent cells in a K-map, then they are said to be adjacent ones, or in adjacent cells. Ones which are present in adjacent cells, that only we can group in the form of a pair, in the form of a quad, or in the form of an octet. So adjacency is very important. If the 2 ones are adjacent to each other or present in adjacent cells, then and then only we can form a group out of this. And groups can be of the form of the type of pair, quad and octets. Now firstly we will understand what is a pair. Now this definition I have written over here. What is a pair? A group of 2 adjacent ones, that is, ones present in the adjacent cells which are eligible to be grouped are known as pair. So whenever we group one pair, we eliminate one variable from system equation. Now this particular thing you will learn when I will show you what are the rules of grouping, and I explain how we do grouping, and from that how we simplify a Boolean expression. But for time being, remember that a pair eliminates one variable from system equation. So why we are studying all this K-map technique? To reduce a given equation. So reduce or simplify a given expression. Suppose I have an expression like this. Let's say I write it over here. So y is equal to, let's see, a b c plus a bar b bar c bar plus a b c bar. Now this is the expression which I am having. But if I draw the K-map and do certain analysis, and I find that 2 adjacent ones are adjacent to each other, and then I can form a group out of it, a pair out of it, then I can eliminate any variable from this. So I will explain to you later on, but just for time being, remember that a pair eliminates one variable from system equation. So one variable will be eliminated when you group 2 adjacent ones in the form of a pair. Now the next thing, quad. A group of 4 ones that are present in the adjacent cells of a K-map is known as quad. That means a group of 4 ones which are present in the adjacent cell. Adjacent is a very important concept here, adjacency. So when we group 4 ones, form a group of 4 ones which are present in the adjacent cells, 3 variables are eliminated from, 3 input variables are eliminated from system equation. This is how we go on minimizing the expression. So the next point, octet. When we form a group of 8 ones which are present in the adjacent cell, that's why it is written as a group of 8 adjacent ones is known as octet. And when an octet is formed, a group contains an octet. Group is formed using an octet, that is adjacent 8 ones. So that group is known to eliminate 3 variables from your final system equation. So this is how you minimize the expression by grouping in the form of pair, quads and octets. As we discussed earlier, I told you that a pair eliminates 1 variable, a quad eliminates 2 variables, and octet eliminates 3 variables. Now let us have an understanding of how a pair, or how to group 2 adjacent ones. Now suppose I am not writing any expression for now, but I am having an expression and I have written its K-map, assume. So I am writing a 3 variable K-map in which I am going to demonstrate how a pair eliminates 1 variable. Now this is our K-map, ABC 0 1. 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So by now you know this is A bar, this is A, this is B bar, C bar, and labeling you know how label. So let's say there are 2 1 present and in the rest of the K-map zeros are present. But what our rules of grouping tells us that we can, because we are dealing with an SOP expression, because here product term is present. So SOP expression is there, that's why we group mean terms. Now when we group mean terms, we will place one at down, one over here, and we will group only once, because we are dealing with standard SOP form and mean terms. So when we group it as a pair, now this particular grouping, because there are 2 ones which are present in adjacent cells, how adjacent, check it, 0 1 0 and this is 0 1 1. So only one bit, one input bit is changing, that's why adjacent, and that's why we can form a group over here. So this is a pair. Now read it, read this particular expression. I will write the labeling over here. So this is B bar C, BC bar, and this is again BC. Now have a look, close look over here. So here we have expression in the form like this. So this row corresponds to A is equal to 0, that means A bar. So this is A bar. So I write it over here, Y is equal to A bar, B, C bar, because that term, that is the term we have encircled, right? BC bar term we have encircled with BC. So we have to add this particular term, and the term which we have encircled, which we have to write again. So this row remains the same. So A bar will remain the same, and this column changes, that is BC, because this we have written it in the form of pair, and we are considering only the terms which are in the adjacent cells for grouping and which are which have the value 1, that is output value 1. That's why we are considering these 2 terms only. So A bar, BC. Now this is our expression, Boolean expression we got from the pair. Now here we have again. Now this is A bar B and A bar B. So A bar B and A bar B I will take common from this expression. And then inside of the bracket we will get C plus C bar. Now remember, by rules of Boolean algebra, what is C plus C bar? C plus C bar is nothing but 1. So at the final output you will get only A bar B as your result. So as you can see, when I wrote this expression there were 3 input variables, but when I grouped it in the form of pair, a variable C got eliminated. So that was what I was trying to explain to you, that when we group the 2 adjacent ones or cells in the adjacent cells, one variable is eliminated. So now we are going to learn the rules for grouping of K-map, grouping of various types of groupings we have learned already, that is pair, quad, octet. And now we are going to study certain rules for this grouping, which further help us in simplification of Boolean expression, logic expression or system equation using K-map simplification process. Now understand these rules. First of all, don't look at the K-map. I am explaining the statements over here.
Okay.
So firstly, when you are grouping equations or when we are dealing with expressions in a standard SOP form, or when we are grouping mean terms together, zeros should not be grouped. So if there are zeros present over here, then zeros cannot be grouped with a 1. Only ones, and that too ones present only in the adjacent cells, can be grouped together in the form of pair, quad or octet. So this is a very important point. So those zeros should be grouped when we are dealing with mean terms. And then second rule is, cells grouped together should be in the form of in the power of 2. That is, cells grouped together should be in the power of 2. What is the meaning of that? Now look at this particular square over here. This particular square is nothing but a group of 4 cells. That is, this particular cell, this particular cell, this particular cell, this particular cell. We have grouped this together because they are in adjacent cells, these 4 ones. So this is nothing but a quad. So this particular cell is nothing but a quad from your K-map. Okay, so this is a quad, and as you can see, the number of cells are in that can be grouped together and in the power of 2, because you see it is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cells are grouped and 4 is in powers of 2, that is 2 raised to 2 is 4. So that is what the second rule states over here. So and the third rule. So every one in the adjacent cell must be at least there in one group. So if you have ones, try to fit it in some of the valid groups. Now what do I mean by valid groups? That the ones should be present in the adjacent cells, and if you are able to combine maximum ones with any other group, then you should combine it. So that is what this statement means over here. That is, every one must be at least in any one group. That is, the condition should be satisfied if it is possible. Try and group the ones which we have. And there should be no adulteration of grouping in zeros, otherwise you will keep on grouping zeros. When you are dealing with SOP expression or minterms, it is of no use. It is wrong then. And no diagonal grouping is allowed. Now what do I mean by diagonal grouping? Even if there are, let's say if there here also one more 1 is present, then you can't group a diagonal like this. So diagonal grouping is not allowed, it is invalid in a K-map. So this you should remember, no diagonal grouping is possible. And the fifth point, in your group should be as large as possible. So here only I could have formed one group or one pair. This should have been one group. But what I did instead, I found a larger group consisting of a quad. So that is also a very important rule, that make your group as large as possible and form fewest number of groups. So this statement is nothing but reiterating the earlier rule, because whenever few groups are there, then only a larger group is formed. Because if you will form smaller groups, then it will unnecessarily generate redundant terms and it will not minimize the expression. So basically what all this grouping and all we are doing because we want to simplify a given expression in the standard SOP form, or even if some min terms are given, we want a reduced expression from it. So that's the reason we are doing all this grouping and all. And if you are not doing it properly, then the equation is not minimized. So our purpose doesn't suffice over here. And last and most important point, overlapping of groups is allowed. Now, can you tell me which are the overlappings? Now see, this one and this one. So I have found a group over here like this. See this particular one with this bottom ones, because these are adjacent. So this is one group and there is an overlapping quad over it. So this is how overlapping is possible. And another overlapping is this part of the quad overlaps with this octet. Now which is this octet? This group of 4 ones, adjacent one with this group of 4 ones. So 4 ones here, 4 ones there, that's why it is an octet. And it is overlapping with a quad and a pair over here. So in this way overlapping is also allowed. So these are the rules we should remember while grouping, when you are grouping for Boolean expression simplification. And what does this grouping gives us? As I had explained to you earlier, when you group two ones, one variable is eliminated. So similarly, from all these groupings, some variables will be eliminated. This quad will eliminate a group of 2 variables, this octet will eliminate 3 variables, and this is how you will simplify a given expression using K-map. So now we learned what are the various ways of grouping and what are the various rules of grouping and what is its utility in using this type of grouping for system equation simplification. Now another important concept related to K-map is don't care condition. Now what are these don't care conditions? Don't care conditions are some set of outputs corresponding to certain input combinations which we do not require while we are analyzing a circuit or digital circuit. So that is what I have written over here. Some output corresponding to certain combination of input variables are not valid for a given digital circuit or can be ignored as they are not important from that particular digital circuit point of view. Such input combinations whose generated output doesn't matter from the point of view of digital circuit design are don't care condition. And how will you represent these don't care conditions in the K-map? These don't care conditions, that is, these set of outputs which doesn't matter for certain given input combinations. These don't matter. That's the reason the name only suggests that it is don't care. So don't care the output for this particular input condition. So this is the meaning. Whatever will be the output, don't care about it, because these certain input combinations we do not consider because they do not matter in our digital circuit. Now how will you feel those don't care conditions in the K-map? Now there would be that would be given in an expression that which all terms are don't care, and also you need not worry about it, just understand the concept. When we will solve examples based on K-map simplification, you will understand how will the question will be asked, how will you determine which are the don't care conditions, and don't care conditions directly are given as D, and in bracket the corresponding min terms or max terms corresponding to it are given. Like here in our case, just for example sake, I have taken don't care condition to be 6 and 14. So what does this mean when I have D in bracket 6, 14? So 6 min term and 14 min term are don't care condition. That's why I written cross in 6 cell, and 14 cell also I have put a cross. So to represent a don't care condition in K-map, we put a cross sign, and this cross sign can be grouped with adjacent ones and zeros. Now we are dealing with min term grouping. That's why we can group these crosses with ones. So here we have two adjacent ones, but then again also we have a don't care. But for simplification purposes, we can combine these don't care conditions with this one. So that's why 1 cross cross 1 and 1 1 1 1 1 1 cross over here. Again 8 is also a don't care condition in this one. So 1 1 1 cross. So this forms an octet, and as you can see, we can group cross with 1 because we are dealing with don't care condition and we are grouping min terms. So if there were max terms, if we are dealing with max terms, suppose we were dealing with an expression something like this. It would be C bar plus D bar, because it would be now product of some form when we are dealing with min terms. Now as I am talking min terms, here we will group zeros. No need to get confused. Just I am considering the max terms, and the don't care conditions remain the same. So when we are dealing with max terms, we will group this don't care with zeros. Okay. But in case of max terms or product of sums form, so when we will do these examples, it will be pretty much clear. So this is an important concept, and the rules of grouping you should know. So after this lecture, you should be able to solve K-map problems based on K-map simplification. And in the next class, I am going to cover how to solve problems using K-map. At that time, this part will be pretty much clear, that don't care conditions and how we will group and how we will solve. But these rules are important. You should keep on revising it. So if you know all these rules, you will be able to simply solve K-map. So thank you. That's all for the day. If you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe my channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification of all my latest uploads. Thank you.